Hey YouTube, this is Michael from Clutter Stuff, and I want to quickly go through my predictions for WrestleMania 32 tonight, April 3rd, 2016. So I'm going to start at the bottom of the card, and there isn't really a bottom, but we're going to start with the matches that haven't really been built up as much as some of the others. So. Starting at the bottom of the list, we have the U.S. Championship match, Kalisto versus Ryback, and I'll tell you, I'm a little bit disappointed in what's happened here because Kalisto was on a roll. He was getting pretty popular. He was getting pretty over with fans. He was, and that's why he got this U.S. Championship. And then it seems that over the last month or so, WWE just completely dropped the ball. Same thing goes with Ryback. There was no big push for Ryback. He basically just walked away from a match where he was tagged with, I think it was Undertaker and Kane, I believe. Not Undertaker. I'm sorry, Big Show and Kane. And then all of a sudden, okay, he's a heel now. Like they don't know what to do with Ryback and Kalisto. This match is a championship match for a belt that had actually gotten quite a bit of significance over the past year or so while John Cena held it and defended it every week on the Open Challenge, and it actually meant something, and then Kalisto wins it, and WWE just completely dropped the ball and undid all of the hard work that they had put into building this title up. So, frankly, I think Kalisto will probably just keep the belt. I don't think it matters one way or the other. I don't think anyone really cares anymore. Which is sad. Kalisto is very talented. Ryback, whatever. He may win the title. Ryback might win the title. Frankly, I don't care. I'm kind of bored with him. So, maybe they'll throw the belt over to Ryback and do something interesting with him. That would be fine with me. I don't care one way or the other. So, I'm not even going to make a prediction on that match. The next match, Total Divas versus Bad and Blonde. I don't even know why this is on the card. So I guess to promote the show. So let's say Total Divas are going to win because this is basically the only reason this match even exists is a commercial for the Total Divas show. So moving on, Usos versus the Dudleys. I like both teams. The Dudleys, I think this might be a way for the Dudleys to kind of pass the torch on to the Usos, maybe. Dudleys are promising no tables, which is whatever. But the Dudleys, I think they're a prime candidate to go into the Hall of Fame next year. And if that happens, if that's the plan, then I could see them either winning this match and then losing, the full, and doing more, doing a couple more matches and losing the full series as a whole, in order to kind of give Usos a push, make them look strong. Or the Usos will just win this one. Depends on how long they want to draw this out between the two teams. So I'm going to say that my prediction, I'm going to predict that the Dudleys will win this one. I think that the Dudleys are more over with the fans than the Usos are. And on the big stage, that's tough. It's a tough call. It's a tough call. I do think it'll be a good match though, because you've got two pretty decent tag teams. Moving up the card, you've got New Day versus the League of Nations, and I think at this point, it's safe to say that New Day is more over than any other act in the entire WWE. They are, and I tell you, they annoyed me when they first came out. They were just annoying. and I have even jumped on the bandwagon. I love the guys now. They have stepped it up to a notch where I haven't seen in a long time of just they are. I'm always watching to see what the heck they're going to do. I mean, they just do this crazy off the wall stuff. It's ridiculous. So I don't think there's a chance in hell that the New Day is going to lose to the League of Nations. Um, I will say I think it's pretty interesting that this is a 3-on-4 match and not a tag team championship match. At WrestleMania, the tag team champions are fighting, but the belts are not being defended. Unless I misunderstood something. I want to see New Day win. I think that's probably what's going to happen. Um, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to upset the fans on a match like this. Because I'm sure that there are several matches higher up on the card that they're gonna upset somebody with some of the results of some of these later matches. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal is at this point just a joke. I mean, they've done nothing. The first year Cesaro wins and then gets buried. Just doesn't even show up on TV hardly after just performing like a champ. Body slamming, picking Big Show up and body slamming him out of the ring to win, and then they do nothing with him for another 6 months. Didn't make any sense. He was Cesaro at the time of that first battle royal. Cesaro was as over could be. I think he must be injured now. I'm not sure. I haven't seen him in a while. But he was over. The fans were behind him. They broke up Cesaro and the Miz's tag team earlier that evening. I'm sorry, not Cesaro, not the Miz. Jack Swagger. Yeah, they're all the same. It doesn't really matter who, whatever. Cesaro and Jack Swagger broke up, and they go and make Cesaro a heel. After the Battle Royal, they make him a heel. I think they might have, I can't remember if they stuck him with Paul Heyman immediately, but they just, Paul Heyman is amazing for Brock Lesnar. He did absolutely nothing for Cesaro or Curtis Axel. And I don't know why that is. But he's got the talent. He's as a manager, as a mic man, Paul Heyman is second to none in this day and age. But so nothing happens. So then last year Big Show wins, and Big Show, I mean, frankly, you kind of expected him to win it. So that it would be like this last feather in the cap, this nod from Andre the Giant to Big Show, just in time for Big Show to retire because he's been misused for years. And then he doesn't retire. He's still fighting. He's probably going to be in the Battle Royal again tonight. Whatever. I just don't even understand what the point of the Battle Royal is, other than as just a place to put a bunch of guys and fill some time. Honestly, now that Kofi is with New Day, you're not even going to get those Kofi Kingston Battle Royal spots that are always so cool. I mean, I just don't see the point of it. But now we're getting into some good matches. AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho. AJ Styles has been my favorite wrestler for years, since I first started watching TNA. This up a little bit here. There you go. Since I first started watching TNA, AJ Styles has been my favorite wrestler. He is, without a doubt, everything that they say he is, phenomenal, to say the least. And Chris Jericho is just, he's also phenomenal. I mean, he doesn't put on bad matches. And Jericho also has shown that he is willing to job to people to try to put him over. He did it for damn Fandango 2-3 years ago, Y2J, AJ Styles is going to win this match. That's the bottom line. And it is probably going to be a contender for match of the year. If these two guys, I mean, they've already worked together, 3 or 4 times, both on both as opponents and as tag team partners. These guys are knowing, they know each other, they know how to perform together, and it's going to be an amazing match tonight. I can guarantee you that. But my pick is for AJ to win. All right, the Intercontinental Championship match: Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn versus Dolph Ziggler versus Zack Ryder versus Sin Cara versus The Miz versus Stardust. Okay, well, we know that Zack Ryder, Sin Cara, The Miz, and the Stardust are completely out of the running and are just there because they are there. So between Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Dolph Ziggler, I honestly believe that Sami Zayn is going to win. Sami had a rough time of it. He got hurt on his debut Raw. Was that a year and a half ago? He debuts on Raw, immediately gets injured in that match, and misses TV for, almost a year. They've been building him up a little bit. And then at NXT TakeOver Dallas, he loses to Shinsuke Nakamura, but not Shinsuke Nakamura. Come on, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Anyway, he loses to him, because that is what NXT stars do when they go to the main roster. They give the rub to the guys staying behind in NXT. Sasha Banks did it to Bayley when she left. We'll get to that match next. But Sami Zayn lost to Shinsuke, and he's going to win the Intercontinental Championship. Or if he doesn't win, which I think he will, but if by chance he doesn't win, it is going to set up a nice feud. They're going to really push this feud between Sami and KO, Kevin Owens, and it's going to get even better. If he doesn't win it tomorrow, he'll probably win it at SummerSlam. It's probably going to go that long. These guys are both. I think that if WWE is smart and judging by the way that they are handling some of their former NXT stars, I think they do get it that a lot of their fans, a vocal portion of their fan base, are the indie guys, the internet wrestling community, smarky, whatever you want to call them. The guys that took Daniel Bryan, that took CM Punk to the top when they didn't want to be. The guys that are putting Dean Ambrose and having him be more over than most of the other competitors, superstars today. The guys that took Seth Rollins up there. These are all people with long histories in Ring of Honor and in Japan and just other indie promotions, and they are getting over. That's what people want to see right now. So I really think that I think Sami Zayn will win. I think, or they'll really push this Kevin Owens Sami Zayn rivalry and push it hard. And Sami will win around SummerSlam. So moving on to the Divas Championship, Charlotte versus Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks. I don't think there's any chance in hell Sasha Banks doesn't walk away with the title. She was called out by Snoop Dogg during his Hall of Fame ceremony, and yeah, I know Ric Flair called out Charlotte, but let's be real. I think that Sasha Banks, being Snoop's niece or cousin or whatever they are to get to each other, I think that Sasha Banks is the reason that Snoop Dogg was inducted this year into the Hall of Fame. I think that her getting the push is why he was inducted. It seems to work that way when certain people, when they come out, that's what happens. So I just don't see any chance that Sasha Banks is not going to win the Divas Championship. Um, uh, the other possibility is that this may be the time when Bayley moves up to the main roster. We might see it get a surprise from Bayley, and Charlotte retains the championship, but the four horsewomen are back together, and they go off on that. That is a good possibility because Bayley lost the NXT Women's title the other night. Again, usually when they are ready for someone to move up to the main roster, the champion, they give away the title to someone, and she did. Now, I don't know. We'll see how that goes, but that's definitely a possibility, I think. All right, the last three matches are all of them really hard to call. Number one, we know that The Rock is supposedly going to be involved, and there's rumors that Stone Cold is going to be involved in some way during WrestleMania. I think The Rock, if he's going to be involved, will probably be during the Triple H and Roman Reigns match. But I don't know. I really think at this point that the smartest move WWE can make is to turn Roman Reigns heel. For Shane and The Undertaker, I don't have the slightest idea what's going to happen. I do know it's going to be an awesome match. I have a feeling Shane will be flying off the top of the cage. It's in some way, whether willfully or with Undertaker throwing him off. He's coming off that cage. That's just I got a feeling about that. They haven't done a spot like that in years, and Shane he showed on Raw the other night when he flew through the announce table from the top rope that he's still capable of doing those types of bumps. So I think that it's going to be a hell of a match, no pun intended. And I do believe that Shane will probably win because why introduce the idea? They need to shake up the Authority in some way. This is the only way to do it, or the best way to do it. And so somehow Shane is going to walk away with the win, whether it be by DQ, by some shenanigans. I have no idea. And Shane-anigans is not a pun. That was just coincidence. Ambrose versus Lesnar. I can't call it. Again, it's going to be a bad match. I kind of have a feeling that they're going to let Ambrose, that Lesnar's going to walk away with the win. But that they're going to do this to let Ambrose really showcase himself. He's already over with the crowd. And I think that they're going to put on a huge match. They may, because it is this street fight, where with weapons and things like that are involved, they might let Ambrose walk away with a win over Brock Lesnar. I can't remember how long Lesnar's contract is for, but I really think that he's probably, you know what? I bet the Wyatts. Actually, I'm gonna tell you, I will guarantee you that the Wyatts are going to get involved with this match, in some way, shape, or form. They're not on the card other than the Battle Royal, so they may set up. They may continue this kind of slow burn of a build, the slow build to Lesnar versus Bray Wyatt. And if that's what they're going to do, then I definitely think that Ambrose may get the win, may get the victory, and that Bray and the Wyatts do somehow cost Lesnar the match. Making it a street fight makes it a little bit more believable that it doesn't make Ambrose look weak, that he only won because of the interference, because he'll have because it's a street fight, he'll be able to have a believable presence in the match. So yeah, I think, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and call Ambrose wins tonight. For Shane and Taker, I'm going to call it for Shane, but I'm not possible. And I think that there's going to be, on both of those, I don't think they're going to be clean pins. Triple H versus Roman Reigns, you know, it all depends on just how out of touch WWE actually is. Or, you know, what they actually do. If they do a heel turn for Roman Reigns and give him the title, I think people will actually be satisfied. If he actually has a heel turn. I don't think it's going to be a double turn where, you know, like Triple H becomes a face also. I think that, because, I mean, frankly, Triple H is kind of, at this point, in that category of people like Undertaker, like, you know, some of the older guys, Dudley Boys. You know, it doesn't matter what they do. You can call them a heel, you can call them a face. People are going to cheer them no matter what they do. And Triple H is in that category when he wrestles. Not as an authority figure, but when he fights, he's in that category. With the sole exclusion, of course, or the sole exception of when he's fighting someone who is actually hugely over, like a Daniel Bryan. Against Roman Reigns, people are booing Roman and cheering for Triple H. So the only thing that makes sense to me is to turn Roman Reigns heel, and give him the belt. Let him be a big guy heel champion. Honestly, that in my opinion is what they should have done with him in the beginning. You know, they decided to try to make him the spokes guy. You know, this talker, this, you know, and he doesn't have it. He's a good looking guy to some. He's, you know, big and strong. He's got these, you know, he's got this power. And before the Shield broke up, he was as over as he could be. People loved it because Roman Reigns didn't say anything. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins did all the talking. They should have let Roman Reigns just be the silent guy. It's not like they haven't done it before. When Undertaker first started competing for the WWE Championship back in 80 whatever or 90 whatever, you know, whenever that was, when Undertaker first came out, he didn't say much of anything, and people loved it because he was big, he was bad, he was powerful. That's how they should have taken Roman Reigns. I think the only way to get back to that is to, you know, have him stop going out there and doing these, you know, these lackluster promos, talking about family and brotherhood and, you know, trying to crack jokes. He's not John Cena. John Cena's got charisma Roman Reigns doesn't have. But Roman Reigns has a look that he can pull off the big, bad monster. John Cena doesn't have that, obviously. Even though, you know, they're practically the same size. You know, there's not a huge size difference, if any, between Roman Reigns and John Cena. But you can play Roman. You have to play Roman a different way. But that, to me, is the only way it's going to make sense. Turn him heel. Let him be a heel for a few months. Let him just be badass. And if they have him in the right matches over the next year, people will turn around and start cheering him. You know, it's inevitable. You know, it happens with. I mean, look at Randy Orton. You know, Randy Orton has more heel turns, and every time he turns to a heel, within a month, people are cheering him louder than they were cheering him when he was a face. You know, the wrestling fans are awesome. so that's my picks. Just a quick run that down. Calypso versus Ryback, don't care. Total Divas versus Bad and Blonde, don't care. Usos versus Dudleys, probably the Usos. New Day versus League of Nations, probably New Day. I honestly don't see any possibility of League of Nations beating New Day. Andre Giant Memorial Battle Royal, completely inconsequential because no matter who wins, they're not going to do anything good with it. AJ Styles versus Y2J. It's going to be AJ. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. It's either going to be either Sami Zayn wins now or Kevin Owens retains and they build that feud up to SummerSlam. Divas Championship, Charlotte versus Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks. I think either Sasha wins outright, clean, or Bayley shows up and premieres on the main roster and to reunite the four horsewomen. Shane versus Undertaker. It's going to be a hell of a match. I think Shane's going to win. It doesn't seem like he's only going to come back for 2 months and then leave again. So he'll come back. He'll get power and stick around for a couple years, hopefully. Ambrose versus Lesnar. I just realized that I'm picking all the people that all of the faces and not any of the heels. But Ambrose versus Lesnar. I think that Ambrose will probably win due to interference from the Wyatts. Triple H versus Roman. Either Triple H may, if they really decide they really want to keep Roman Reigns a face, they might drop the belt on him and they'll get booed out of the building, which may set up a heel turn for Roman tomorrow night on Raw, or they let Triple H just keep it and try to build more heat against Triple H in order to kind of give a little bit more of a face rub to Roman Reigns. Either that happens or Roman Reigns turns heel and wins. So those are my picks. Quite frankly, it's really hard to say because the build to this WrestleMania has been a little bit disappointing on some of these matches, and so you don't really, you can't really tell which way they're going to go, and that might be a good thing. I might be completely wrong, which I hope I am. I mean, I would love to see a great show tonight. So, I've given you my picks, my reasoning, why, and all of that in an effort to hopefully, as Adam from What Culture says, WWE do better than that. It's interesting. I watch wrestling for entertainment, and I really think that in 5 hours of wrestling a week, that there should have been there should be a little bit more of a build to some of these matches, and yet I look at some of the main matches, the three top of the card, the Hell in a Cell street fight, the championship match, Intercontinental Championship match, AJ and Y2J, and those were all done real well. New Day and League of Nations had a decent build. Uso and Dudley's, it was kind of slapped in there. There was something, Total Divas versus Bad and Blonde. That whole match is based on the one match that they had 2 days, on was it Raw or SmackDown last week? Whatever. It doesn't. Callisto versus Ryback again. They like ran into each other in the hallway or something, and was like, "Oh, I'm going to beat you up." Okay, yeah, it doesn't make sense for some of those matches, but overall, I think that this might be a really good show, and that's my top prediction. Is that even if all of my other predictions are wrong, I think that this has the potential of being a really good show. Triple H versus Roman Reigns might disappoint a lot of people. Although I personally, I don't mind Roman Reigns. I kind of like Roman Reigns. I don't like it when he talks too much because I think it makes him look weaker than he needs to when he sits there and tries to crack jokes or talk about his niece or whatever he's doing. I mean, he goes out there and he just kind of talks, and it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. When he talks the way he's been talking the last couple of weeks, where he's like, Triple H, I'm going to kick your ass, I'm going to beat you up. That's fine. That's what wrestlers do. But all the rest of this, having these monologues in the middle of the ring and stuff, no. That's not Roman Reigns' character. It doesn't work for him. And that's why people are rebelling against him. It's why people don't like him. It's not what people want to see. So they can play it. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble now. Those are my picks. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Let me know your thoughts in the videos below, and we hopefully none of us are disappointed. Thanks a lot. Bye.